Welcome everybody to another Seems Good Magic video. As always, my name is Sam and I'm glad that you're here. So we got some awesome spoilers today. We were talking about them on the live stream this morning, twitch.tv/SamBot49, so you can check out all your Twitch streaming wants and needs over there. But we got to get into these spoilers. These were all leaked by Watsy, like in a video or something. Not exactly sure how it all went down, but it's a little crazy, so we're going to get to it. Our first spoiler, Samut the Tested, 2. 1 green, 1 red, 4 loyalty, planeswalker, +1 up to 1 target creature gains double strike until end of turn, -2. Samut the Tested deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 target creatures and/or players, and a -7. Search your library for up to 2 target or up to 2 creature and/or planeswalkers cards. Put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So something I will say that's very interesting about Samut here is that both Arlen Cord, like all the previous red-green walkers, have always been red-green and then 2 colorless mana, and have generally started on 3 or 4 loyalties. So that is worth noting here. This is like kind of a design they go back to the well to time and time again. The double strike thing is cute. The 2 damage I don't think protects it enough. But the fact that it says, you know, you can divide it among players makes me think that maybe this is more of like a casual card. Maybe that's what they were aiming for, although I'm not sure. And the -7, while good, doesn't seem super backbreaking. So all in all, I think this card is fantastic. I think it's an awesome spoiler. I think it's going to be really fun. I don't see it being a $20 mythic. I see it being a $5 mythic along the lines of Dovinbon, something like that. So don't necessarily pre-order them and don't get on the hype train just yet. We're going to have to see if the double strike has any great synergies or anything in the set, but it does seem okay. So we're going to go on to Bontu here. 2 black, 1 other. We're on it. Destroy all creatures, land you control, don't untap during your next untap step. So very interesting. A 3-mana Wrath. Damnation's like a $40 card, so I'm sure people are having like alarm bells and money signs go off in their heads. Now the downside, because they're not just going to give us a 3-mana Wrath, lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. So Sam, how bad is this? Is this card even playable? So, what I have to say about this is, you imagine your control deck. Your opponent plays a Crypt Breaker on turn 1, and they play a Dread Wanderer on turn 2, and they play a Dread Wanderer, or they play a Crypt Breaker turn 1, they play 2 Dread Wanderers on turn 2. On turn 3 they play a Scrap Heap Scrounger and a Crypt Breaker, and then you Bontu's Last Reckoning. The next turn they follow up with some threat, and then, yeah, they kill you, maybe? So what I think this is going to be great for is I think this is the type of card that's going to want to be played in blue-black control decks. Blue-black control, which I've been playing this week, I've been playing the Metallurgic Summonings version, does not currently have a way to deal with a ton of threats from an aggro deck. And this is kind of it. Now, the reason I say it wants to go in that kind of shell is because that kind of shell can sometimes have 6 or 7 lands. So you can play this, you can maybe counter what your opponent does on a turn, and then just pray for the best on the turn after that. Or maybe you can even set up a situation where we're kind of 1-for-1ing in the early game. You set this up as like a 2-for-1 on turn 8. You have 2 counters up, 1 for their current turn and then 1 for the turn after, where you can't untap and then you get to untap. But the untap really prevents this from being played against an aggro deck on turn 3 or 4. I like how versatile it is in the cost, meaning that you can really play this in an aggro deck. If there's something like a Jund aggro deck or a Jund energy aggro deck, and you want to side into a bigger Jund control deck against other aggro decks, this is definitely something that I could see fitting in, where like you play this to wipe away all their small 1/1s and 2/2s, they try to rebuild the board, you don't really care that much, then you play a Walking Bliss to shoot all their guys down, play a Virtuous Gearhulk, and it's game over. Something like that. But we all know you're not here for Bontu's Last Reckoning. You are here for the king himself, Nicol Bolas, the God-Pharaoh. So we knew a Nicol Bolas Planeswalker was coming. People were asking, is it going to be good in Aetherworks Marvel? Should I sell all my Marvels? What should I do? Ulamog's rotating. What should I do, Sam? And this is the answer. 7 mana, Grixis, and 4 for a 7 loyalty Planeswalker, +2. Target opponent exiles cards in the top of his or her library until he or she exiles a non-land card. Until end of turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. +1, Mind Rot your opponent. And -4, Nicol Bolas the God-Pharaoh deals 7 damage to target opponent or a creature and opponent controls. -12, of course, exile each non-land permanent your opponent controls. So, -12, you win the game. +2, I mean, +2, you're basically, you're doing better than drawing a card. You're not just drawing a card, you're drawing a relevant card and putting it on the battlefield. +1, you're mind rotting your opponent, which is sick. And then -4, you're dealing 7 damage to our creature or opponent. Now, the sad part, I don't think this is better than a Nula Mug. Meaning, I don't think this has enough ability to directly impact the board that it's going to see play in Marvel, although I would not be surprised. What I will say is that I think this makes Grixis control viable. And why I'm saying that is because blue-red control has been good. This gives you a reason to splash for black. It's good in the mirror. It's good against mid-range decks. It's a very powerful card. Definitely a cube staple for, you know, some time to come. Because all Nicol Bolas Planeswalkers are going to be restricted due to mana cost and mana, you know, and colors, it's not really in the realm of possibility for this to see play in a ton of decks, but there are definitely going to be 1 or 2 decks where this does shine. People are going to love this card, they're going to build around it. Even if this sees no play at all, it's going to be an $8 to $10 mythic just because of the lore and the awesomeness. Keep all foils you open for sure. This is going to be it. But I do like this card. I think the best card of all of these is honestly Nicol Bolas. It's just the most powerful. I think it's also going to go in the most decks. These spoilers seem sweet, but I don't think there's anything specifically like format warping for constructed in here. So while these spoilers seem awesome, they're all like mythics and stuff, I'm not sold on this set quite yet. We're going to have to stay tuned and see what's next. But thank you so much for watching. My name's Sam. Check me out, twitch.tv/SamBall49. I'll see you all over there starting every day, 3 a.m. Eastern Time, midnight Pacific, 10 a.m. Central European Summer Time. So I will see you there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Wednesday.